Now, adjusting to new habits will become a reality come midnight. For those working from home, you'll have to eat more mindfully, and basic pantry staples will become key in reducing the amount of time you go to the shops. Dietitian Mayuri Bhawan is consulting at home, and she joins me now via Skype to talk about what you should be buying to maintain a balanced diet. Mayuri, very good morning. Good to talk to you here on ENCA this morning. We've seen a lot of panic buying, people rushing around, getting the last-minute foodstuffs and other needs for the home. But from a diet perspective, from a nutrition perspective, what should they be focusing on?
Thank you, and good morning, Dan, and thanks for having me again on the show. And I think, so the main thing that I want everyone to know is that we should not be panic buying, as we have heard that the supermarkets will be open. I'm not saying that we should be running to the shops every second day, but we should at least stock up for only at least 2 weeks, and then, whatever you may need, try and get in that time. So my suggestion is to start doing a bit of meal planning. So really looking at, before you're buying anything, see what food you actually have at home. So trying to do a bit of a stock take of what items you have already before just panic buying and buying things that you may not even use or need, and also just practicing first in first out type of rules. So what that means is whatever you're going to be buying first, sort of use later at a later stage, and use the items that you have already in your cupboard. And then also creating menus around foods that you may have on hand, as I find that sometimes we buy all these items and we still don't know what to do with them. And also choosing recipes for the week that will incorporate most of the ingredients that you have at home or you may be buying at the shops now in the next few days. So Dan, going back on what we should be eating is, I think, let's try and incorporate a lot more vegetables and fruits in our diet. Now is the time that we need it the most. I'm finding, and I'm seeing a lot on social media, that people are just buying a lot of starchy food, which is really great, but I think we mustn't forget about vegetables, either in the frozen form or tin form, and also just going back to basics and buying like whole gem squash and butternut that you can also chop up at home, because obviously it will last longer. So being a bit more conscious of, including more fruits and veg, so really eating a rainbow of all of those nutrients.
Yeah, now balancing a diet is going to be important. When we come to activity, because people are going to be locked in, people are going to be at home mostly, they must stay at home. I mean, you should bear in mind that it's not just about eating and sitting and doing nothing.
Yes. So, and I think this is where, as everyone, I think we need to try and create our new norm, our new routine. It will be a little bit frustrating initially in the first week to try and understand, everyone's, routine, in a sense of, we normally just used to wake up, go to school, go to work, and now we're all going to be stuck in one house. So maybe saying, before breakfast, let's just go for, if we to and if you are living in a complex, maybe walking around the complex for a bit, like 20 minutes, or doing a bit of skipping, or doing some mat exercises, and then having to do your breakfast, and then also trying to keep yourself busy. So do the things that you've never had time to do. Listen to podcasts, read, sleep, and really just and cook together with your family. I think getting the whole family involved is very important in this time, and having to bond. And also what I'm doing with my family and friends is also just to have to keep in touch through FaceTime, WhatsApp, because yes, it will be a lonely period for ones that are on their own, and if we can occupy each other and help each other through this time through chatting, I think it's really amazing, and you'll get through it quite quickly.
Mayuri, as usual, very useful advice. Thank you very much for your time, and all the best during the lockdown. That's Dietitian Mayuri Bhawan with some good